Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Welcome back to another episode of the Matt Core Show, which also happens to be the first episode of not only a new month, but an entirely new year. Folks, I hope you had an absolutely phenomenal New Year celebration, festivities. I hope you were safe, and if not, I hope you had at least enough fun to make up for not being safe. You know, the whole risk versus reward type of a thing. Folks, I appreciate you coming back. I hope you were able to sleep off your hangover. I hope you're already sticking to your day one resolutions. I hope you already made it at this point, 36 hours into your day one New Year's resolution. So hope you're going strong. I myself decided to I kind of do this every year, the whole like dry January type of thing. I don't know, like you get a day into it. The first day is kind of like whatever. I don't know. I don't really find dry January to be like that difficult of a challenge, but I do find it to be healthy. So I enjoy doing it. So to anyone else in chat right now that's doing dry January, or maybe you're going for a even longer stint of sobriety, my hat's off to you. I hope you crush it. And then to anyone else, I know there's a lot of diets and working out and I don't know, maybe you're not texting and driving anymore. Whatever it is, I hope you crush it. Take it day by day. And maybe some of your promises to yourself relate to the market. Maybe you're waking up saying, okay, I'm going to stick to my plan this year, wiping the slate clean. It's a whole new taxable year. So maybe you're sitting in here thinking to yourself, all right, I know my plan. I'm going to stick to it, not going to get tilted. And honestly, that's a really tough one. At least I find that one to be particularly tough. So if you're on that pathway, I very much hope you are successful and absolutely crush it. But with all that being said, we have an exciting show today. We're going to switch things up a little bit. I could say it's because of the new month and the new year, but in reality, I've been planning on doing this for a while, so I think you're really going to be interested in it. Before the market opens today, and I have about just under 30 minutes to go, I'm going to be breaking down an entire trading strategy. I'm going to give you the exact details, the exact entries, the exact numbers, all of that, like the full thing. We are going to be breaking that down before the market opens. And that's all actually going to be possible because of this new tool that I've been using lately called Edgeful. It's pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video, but you could get a free 7-day trial. So feel free to check it out as I'm prepping you guys up for today's show. But more importantly, you're going to be very interested in what I have to say about it. Like I said, a full entire trading system breakdown. So on top of that, or I should say before we get to that, I have some political news updates. There were some tragedies happening in New Orleans. There was some craziness in Vegas. So we have a little bit of a political drama, I guess, tensions boiling over type of a situation. Then I want to give you a little, I guess, quick sneak peek at the overall market, the overall economy, and then we're going to be getting into the actual trading numbers. So we have a couple things to be breaking down. I just want to get you guys prepped up for today's trading show. And then actually there's probably, I had to get into some key levels that I want you to be aware of. I know in pre-market trading, things are looking pretty green now, but the underbelly of the market is actually not suggesting bullishness quite yet. So I know in pre-market, we're looking kind of strong right now, at least in the overnight to the pre-market session. But there are some, I guess, reasons for concern. So I want to be breaking that down as well. So I hope that sounds good to you. I hope you had a good new year. I hope you're ready for the rest of this week, a whole new month, a whole new year, a whole new you. So with that being said, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to turn on your notifications, and let's get rocking. Stock futures rise to begin 2025 after S&P 500 notches back-to-back annual 20% plus gains. So if you look at the last 2-year period, I'm talking about 2023 and 2024, putting it together, that's actually kind of a top tier 2-year return that we've had in over a quarter century. So it's actually a really, really nice push. I'm planning on making a full breakdown video related to this. My expectations, and I'll give you all my thoughts, reasoning, and all of that. I think 2025 is going to be a bullish year, but only a slightly bullish year. I think actually from now until the end of the year, I'm expecting, I don't know, maybe a 6, 7, 8% gain, something like that. But I think it's going to be a wild ride to it. The past 2 years, we've had that kind of slow grind to the upside with a couple hiccups, but overall, it's like just strongly dominated, especially by tech. I think that that story's over. I do believe 2025 is going to favor the bulls, but not in the way it has in the past 2 years. I think it's going to be a small bullish return by the end of the year with a lot of crazy swings to the upside and to the downside between now and then. Like I said, I'll do a full breakdown of that. So here's your drama. New Year's violence rattles the U.S. So I obviously hope none of you watching this were impacted. I hope none of your family, friends, loved ones, but some crazy things went down. New Orleans attack, Cybertruck explosion, raise U.S. security fears.
We've had a lot of conflicting information here on these two attacks, so just bring us
obviously
the latest on the
there were
investigation.
Casualties in like just another deranged individual in New Orleans with a truck. It's very sad. People are just losing their mind, getting all spun up.
It's not clear if there really is any connection between the two. The first one taking place in New Orleans, 15 people dead. The suspect was killed at the scene. He was driving a truck that investigators say had an ISIS flag and also other explosive devices inside of it. Investigators also saying that there were potential explosive devices found along that route on Bourbon Street in the French Quarter. They're looking into that to determine whether they were linked to this attack or whether they're explosives at all. Right now, investigators saying that they do not believe or they believe it's possible that the driver in New Orleans had accomplices. That's the lead they're pursuing with the highest urgency right now. They have taken their investigation on from New Orleans to Houston as well, looking at people the driver may have known there, contacts, friends, family, things like that. They're also scouring.
You get the TLDR there. Deranged individual. I don't know why at first the FBI said it had no relation to terror when they obviously had an ISIS flag, but I don't know. It's just a sad situation. It didn't really end there. Obviously, there were other implications that are far less important. Sugar Bowl postponed one day following the deadly New Orleans attack. So like it just shows in the air that like it is prompting fear. So anyway, that game is going to actually happen today, but it didn't stop there. As I alluded to, Tesla Cybertruck burst into flames outside Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. A lot of the reporting on both of these at first were strange, and like the way, I don't know, like mainstream media, as we've said before, and we're going to say it a million times more, you do not hate them enough. At first, the reporting in New Orleans was acting almost as if a truck just, I don't know, lost its own mind and decided to drive into a crowd of people. And then with respect to the Cybertruck thing, Tesla, there's kind of, at first the reporting was it just randomly like popped into flames. And we're like, okay, that literally makes no sense. And then obviously as more and more information is coming out, we're realizing that this was premeditated attacks in various areas. And right now, the kind of like day after type of situation, they're trying to see if there's connection between all this. Some people are saying yes, other people are saying no. So I don't really want to, I'm just covering the narrative as it's coming out. I don't really want to put out any conjecture, but overall it's just an incredibly sad thing. Also, just on the note of politics, Trump tariffs pose a greater threat to South Korea's economy than domestic political chaos. So right now, as we've been kind of tracking over the past couple weeks, especially since Trump became the president-elect, and we first started hearing about tariffs, this is going to be a driving force for not only the stock market, but also the economy of either positive tailwinds with the bull camp or running into headwinds with the bear camp, tariffs. Sorry, I didn't take my allergy pill today because, hey, my body's stronger than my allergies. Anyway, these tariffs they're very much up in the air. The best way they could be described is just a giant unknown, but also this giant unknown has the potential to have a giant impact. So right now, both the economy and the stock market are kind of waiting for not only getting closer to January 20th, the inauguration day, but past that of, okay, like what is actually happening with these tariffs? And we're even seeing it with the Fed in the last FOMC meeting where they're basically saying, okay, yeah, no, our increased inflation expectation, we're kind of saying, okay, there's a certain non-zero probability that we are actually going to get tariffs. So this isn't just conjecture of like, okay, like the markets of the economy, are they feeling it? Are they feeling it? No, the Fed's already trying to weigh it in to a certain degree. So this word tariff, it's going to be the usage of it in your life is about to pop quite a bit. Trudeau leaves Canada in suspense as anxious Liberals urge him to go. We saw that video at the start of this week where I think someone in British Columbia, he was at a ski resort and they just walked up to him and she just told him to get the F out. I'm surprised that he still is there. I've always been surprised, even beyond this recent push to get him out. It seems like no one likes him. I actually don't think I've met a single person who likes Trudeau. So it blows my mind that he stayed in power for so long, but it does seem as if his days are dwindling. A TikTok ban looms. Creators say they'll believe it when they see it. I have to admit, I feel the exact same way. I believe the ban is looming for January 19th, the day before the inauguration. And I don't know. Months ago, if you had to force me to give you a probability of TikTok actually being banned or not, I would actually say months ago it was higher. Now, as we're coming into it, once again, with a new president, the new president, Donald J. Trump, he's talked about it. I believe, not verbatim, but basically his quote was he has a soft spot in his heart for TikTok because of how much Gen Z showed up for him in the voting booth. So with this, I just don't know if the ban really has enough political traction behind it to actually push it through. So with this, I don't know. I don't know what the probabilities would be right now, but this is a thing that maybe some of you are interested in paying attention to. I have a feeling that it's going to get sold off. I don't think that's TikTok, which is so big, so vastly popular. I don't think that they're going to let it wither on the legal vine or anything like that. So we're going to find out. We're going to find out in a couple of weeks, but I just want to throw that on your radar. And now let's bring it back actually to the market. So like I said, halfway through a week, brand new month, brand new year. So that means we got to talk about seasonality. I do want to remind you that the first half of January, on a historic standpoint, basically the best 20 to 30 years, it does historically favor the bulls. Now, that's not a guarantee. It's just that the probability is in the favor of the bulls. And this is really cool. So I'm talking about Edgeful quite a bit today. I'm not really going to be diving into the seasonality, but they do have it. So this is over the past 5 years. We can see the seasonality of various things. I just have up SPY right now, the ETF for the S&P 500. So you can see on the monthly view, the overall month, basically the 4+ weeks in January, over the past 5 years, slightly favoring the bulls. And then if we look at the individual weeks, the first week, slightly bearish. The second week, more bullish. The third week, getting a little bit bearish. And then from there, we have some nice bullish weeks. So once again, this is the weekly view. This is the monthly view. And this is a very easy way to check out the seasonality. And you could get that from Edgeful. But that's honestly kind of a rudimentary thing that they offer you, because what I'm about to show you is absolutely amazing. But before we get there, the major news of this morning at 8:30, we got the initial jobless claims. Came in a little bit lighter than expected. That's not necessarily so good when we already know that the labor market is pretty weak. A little bit later on today, we get some manufacturing numbers. That's 15 minutes into the market opening. With respect to individual equities, there's not really anything on earnings scheduled, not even this week, not even really next week. The week after, by the time we get halfway through January, that's when earnings season officially starts again. Generally, we get this kickoff with all those big financial announcements from Wells Fargo, Citi, JP Morgan, PNC, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America. So that's really halfway through the month is when we kick off the whole new earnings season. So those are the things you want to put on your radar. The only other thing that I think you should note right now, especially if you're playing some swing options, is on Thursday, January 9th, right where my cursor is. So not this Thursday, not today, but a week from today, the market's going to be closed out of respect for the previous president, Jimmy Carter, passing away. So generally, when a president passes away, they close the market for a day just out of respect. And so once again, that's happening a week from today. So if you're trading anything for January 9th or 10th, in terms of your options expiration, there is a chance that you are impacted because of that. So I just want to throw that out to everyone. New year, same degeneracy. Folks, don't forget to sign up for Locals if you want to do the free membership or if you want to do the premium supportership. That's how you get into the Discord. But even if you don't want to do the premium access, you still get a lot of great things, such as this newsletter. And the major things on the newsletter, initial jobless claims came out. And with respect to seasonality right here, Thursday, it is a neutral day. Over the past 25 years, this individual day has been won by the bulls 56% of the time. The profit factor is just over 1. It's neutral. I mean, at first, about 20 years ago, it was bearish. then it started to go up, then it got a hit, then it went up, then it went right back. So from a seasonal perspective, this individual day, I wouldn't say that seasonality is coming into my bias whatsoever. I'm not saying it's bullish or bearish. I'm just saying it's neutral, and I'm going to be looking at other things to be paying attention to. And that leads me to something that I think is beyond awesome. I want to break down not only an entire trading strategy, but how you can create an entire trading strategy yourself. So these are some of the trades that I fired off to conclude the year and the month. Tuesday, December 31st, I was able to lock in a nice $7,000 on 3 individual trades, but I want to bring your attention to the third trade of the day that I fired. I believe it was just after noon o'clock. And you can see what I did here was get into a call credit spread that ended up returning $850 in one trade in one day. This was a 0 DTE trade. And you can see what I did was sell the SPX, the 5905, and I bought the 5910. So this is a call credit spread. And if you don't know that much about call credit spreads, there's a ton of videos. Heck, I even have some on my channel. But all you need to know is when you're engaging in a call credit spread, you get your full return if it ends below the short strike. So I needed the day to conclude below 5905 to get the money, and that's obviously what happened because I had a 100% return. So how did I come up with this? Why did I feel comfortable in it? It's a new trade for me, and I want to break it down. So once again, if you want to better understand credit spreads, I suggest watching the video on the channel already. But if you want to know why I picked these strikes at this time and returned $850 in one day, it's all because of Edgeful. If you don't know what Edgeful is, it's a market insight tool that obviously there is a free trial, a free 7-day trial, and there's a gazillion different breakdowns you could do, and I want to cover some of them, but in this one, I want to cover the one that actually told me to do that trade. So what you could see here is I am on the previous day's range, and it gives me all these odds, stats, and maybe at first it looks a little overwhelming, maybe it looks a little bit confusing, so let me do a better job at explaining this because this is incredibly powerful. So to understand what these odds and numbers mean, you first have to understand who this guy is. On the screen right now, not only is this a devilishly handsome mathematician by the name of Thomas Bayes, but he also came up with some pretty important things, specifically known as conditional probability. You might have heard of Bayesian probabilities. What you need to know is this is a nerdy mathematician from the 18th century that if you understand his work, you can get a bunch of money. So I don't want to bring up any bad stories from math class or something like that. Please don't freak out because I could explain this. You don't have to be a mathematician yourself to understand how to take advantage of it. It's as simple as this. If you are in a certain state, let's just say we are here right now, and let me draw this out. I'll make this as quick as I possibly can. All right, so here's what you need to know. Let's say you're in a certain state. The only way for you to get out of here is either go to this state on the top or this state on the bottom. So we could call this one the top state, T, and this one the bottom state, B. All you have to know is that there's certain probabilities to go there. If you know where you're starting off at, right here on the left side, this is where we are starting, the giant S, there's X percentage chance that we go to T, and then Y percentage chance that we go to B, and X plus Y equal 100, because those are our only two pathways. So we know where we're starting, and then we just know that there's option top and there's option bottom, and each one has a certain probability. This is the basic high-level thing you need to know about conditional probabilities of where you're starting and the chance of going to one and the chance of going to the other. And then obviously when you get in those new states, you have a chance of maybe going to 1, 2, 3, whatever, and they all have assigned probabilities. So you're just moving from one environment to another. So I think that makes some, once again, we're not getting deep into the math here. You just need to know your starting situation and then the probabilities of you going to how many other situations you could theoretically go to. And obviously there's some deep theorems to this, and it's all made by Thomas Bayes, and this is used quite a bit, not only in the world of statistics, but also in the world of the market. So how does this in any way relate to what I'm saying? Or what I'm showing you in that particular trade that I had? Well, according to Edgeful, which once again, they give you a gazillion different breakdowns, I found this one called previous day's range. And I have to admit, This is absolutely awesome. So it's as simple as this. Are you breaking above the previous day's high, or are you breaking below the previous day's low? Or maybe let me show you this on the daily. Here's SPX, and let me go to the 10-minute. I already marked this out for the specific trade that I hit. So a lot of you who watch the stream, you see my shows, you notice that I always mark out the previous day's high, low, and close. So the previous day's high is the green solid bar, the previous day's low is the red solid bar, and then the previous day's close is the white solid bar. I do this every single day for the overall market ETFs that I'm paying attention to, because knowing if we're above or below or in between is massively impactful. And here are the exact numbers for that. So the study that's on the screen right now talks exactly about that. Are you breaking above the previous day's high? Are you breaking below the previous day's low? And then it gives you some odds related to how you might conclude that day, at least on the past 5 years worth of data. So obviously I'm looking at SPY, the S&P 500 ETF right here. How cool is this? The high broken, the chance of you closing green when you break the previous day's high, 77% chance. The chance of you closing red if you break the high is obviously a very small 23% chance. Now, on the other side, if you break the low, the chance of you closing green, a very small 74. And if you break the low, the chance of you closing red is 76. So for right now, let's just say these are 76 and 77. Those are the two big ones. So I know at first, once again, this could be a little confusing, but how cool is this? This is basically saying that when we were trading on Tuesday, I marked out the Monday high and the Monday low. If we broke above Monday's high of 5941 roughly, there was a 77% chance that we would remain above the closing value of the previous day. So same thing on the flip side. If you break below the low, then there's a 77% chance that you stay below the previous day's closing value. So this is what happened on Tuesday. Was I was looking at these Monday numbers and I said, okay, cool. I have the high from Monday. I have the low from Monday. I'm curious if we're going to be breaking above, because if so, I'd feel very confident. Let me make this white just because this is the closing value. Once again, if, and remember, just to connect this together, we're in this state. We're the S block right here. We're waiting for us to either break above or break below. And then we have certain odds of, okay, we broke above. So there's either we're closing above the close or we're closing below the close, as in we're going to have a green or red day. So right here, we have this as the closing value. And then we start trading on the final day of the year. If we broke above this, there would be about a 77% chance that we close above 5907. Now, if we break below 5869, the low from Monday, then there would be about a 77% chance that we close below 5907. I hope that makes sense. And once again, these odds are all just very quickly generated from Edge Tool. So for example, I'm looking at 5 years. If I want to look at how this played out over the last 3 years, you see how rapidly they update. So anyway, here's how this particular trade played out for me when I made $850. I saw that, okay, we didn't break above the high. I see that we're trending down, and right around, around 12:30, 12:15, to me, when I saw this without the future information, it looked like we were making a beeline to the previous day's close. And I was like, okay, cool. I brought this up. I went over to the 5 year and I said, all right, if we break below the previous low, there's a 76% chance that we actually end up closing below the previous close, this line. So basically, if we break this red line right here, there was a 3 and 4 chance that we end up closing below the previous day's close. So once again, this is all coming back to the base theory. I'm like, if we break this, then we have the two odds. Like the top one would be the 77%, the bottom one would be the 23%. So I knew the initial state. I was waiting either for the breakdown, breakout, and upon that happening, I would know that the next two states had the certain odds like applied to them. So then how did I use that? Well, I saw that we were going down, and granted, I did front run it a little bit, but as we were diving, I was like, okay, it looks like we're going to take out 5969, the low from Monday. So I figured, okay, I like those odds. I like the 3 and 4 chance. So that's exactly why I sold this call credit spread at 5,905, because I knew that there was a 77% chance that we'd end up closing below 5,906. So right there, I was using call credit spreads, and then obviously the price action of the day, and then the odds that I quickly got from Edgeville to be like, okay, cool, I'll fire that off. And as you can see right here, here's the proof that I made $850, which paid for an entire year of Edgeville. So literally like one trade paid for this. And I want to clarify, this is just the rudimentary way to break it down. I'm on standard. You could also look at these exact odds. You're like, well, hang on, is it better or worse that situation, the breakouts or the breakdowns on day of the week? And so right here, they offer you that. Right now, today, I'm filming this on a Thursday. If we break the high, there's a 75% chance we stay above the previous closing value. And if we break the low, there's a 75% chance we stay below the closing value. On outside days, this is kind of interesting because instead of now making the relative measurement from the previous close, you can now say, okay, if we break the high of the previous day, what's the chance of staying above the high? Obviously, you can get those odds, 63, 37, 57, 43. And then also you can look at it with the previous close of how do the odds change where if the previous entire day was a green day or a red day. So there's various ways to break this all down. And this is just one study for them on one particular time frame. You can look up this start to your heart's content. And I just want to show you that these types of conditional probabilities, once again, tying it back to that devilishly handsome guy, Thomas Bayes, when you know those odds, you can know exactly, it's kind of almost like a sports bet, an over-under bet. Like if team X and team Y play together, there's X percent chance that it's above 30, like the total score. That's what this is using these odds to know where the potential outcome is going to be. And then really, in my opinion, one of the best ways to execute it is with credit spreads, whether call credit spreads or put credit spreads. So this is all broken down and it's lightning fast. I mean, before I was showing you the seasonality, look how quickly this updates. I could go to the 3-year, 5-year, I could look at the monthly, I could look at the weekly, all very cool. So if you're trying to kickstart your whole new trading year with actual math, actual statistics, check out Edgeville. You get a free 7-day trial. No harm, no foul. Try it out for an entire trading week. See if it's appropriate for you. I absolutely love it. And why would I not? Because it already made me almost $1,000. But if you want to see it, click around, check out all the reports. Once again, a 7-day free trial. And I mean, I got addicted to it. I'll be completely honest with all of you. The amount of things that I was clicking through here to get the odds, I filled up an entire notebook already just so I can check things very quickly throughout the day. Very, very powerful tool. And I should also clarify here, it's not just for the SPY. Look at all the things that they have. They have individual equities. They have a bunch of other ETFs. I like to trade the SPY and the Qs myself, but there's a good chance that whatever you enjoy trading, it's going to be in here and you could run those exact same breakdown reports. So shout out to Edgeville, very powerful. And I'm going to see if I could trade on anything with it today. With that in mind, I guess, are there any questions because the market's about to open? Any questions on that and what it means and these probabilities and, I don't know, Bayes' theorem or any of this? Is there anything I can clarify to you about what I just said? Because I know it's a little bit more in the world of math, but it is incredibly important to understand that if you can wrap your head around what this stuff means, I mean, that's one of the best ways to be successful. One of the best ways to be successful. So please feel free to shout it out. I'm more than happy to answer whatever questions I possibly can. And like I said, if you want to check this out yourself, free 7-day trial, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Here's a quick look at what you get with that 7-day free trial. Like I said, it's $40 a month, but you get all this stuff. 7-day free trial. It's for all this, the report. Like, I mean, it's just check mark, check mark, check mark. They give you a ton of stuff and you get that full access. And hey, you get to try it out. No harm, no foul, but it's just, and they all, also, I didn't mention really cool integrations with TradingView because I know a lot of you enjoy TradingView as much as I do. Over 3,000 assets. Very, very cool. All right, let me get that cleaned up. Let me come over here. Hang on. I see some people talking about Tesla getting knocked in pre-market. That's what happens when one of your vehicles explode. Are you swinging those spreads the same day? No, that was same day because the odds are for that day. So this was a closed position. I mean, you could even see it was December 31st. It was about a half-day trade, but the odds are for that day. You wouldn't extend it to another day because it only has to do with where you close that day based on if you break out of the previous day's high or low. You wouldn't swing it because the odds are not suggestive of a swing. They're just for that day. But this trade is completely closed out. Completely closed out. So yeah, and then I did other ones based on actually some other things I got from Edgeflow. I made 1,500 on that trade, and I made about 4,600 on that trade. So, or 4,500. No, I did that. Okay, so I made 6,950 between 3 individual trades. So basically ending up going for 3 for 3. But the one that I'm focusing on specifically with that Edgeflow strategy was right here. So basically, a key takeaway is when you break above the previous day's high or low, it is a very insightful event and development for getting an idea of where you could close that day. So it's not necessarily a linear way to play the market, as in long calls, long puts, long ES, long NQ, or short, or anything like that. It's a better way to actually start selling premium, which honestly, when it comes to the world of options, it is way, way easier to be successful as a premium seller than a premium buyer. What is your max risk and reward with those trades? One that's more specific to credit spreads, and obviously it depends on your size and the spread, but your max risk is the difference between your 2 strikes minus the premium that you accepted or that you sold it for. That's the equation for risk when it comes to credit spreads. Dingity ding ding ding. The world's largest casino is now open. Play responsibly, and if not, have fun. All right. All right, so that's that breakdown. And actually, we could watch it again today. So let's just do it in real time. So we need to watch the high from Tuesday. We need to watch the low from Tuesday, and we need to watch the closing value from Tuesday. So on the screen, obviously, SPX right now, the overall market, we're in this initial event. We are waiting for either the breakout or the breakdown. We are in our starting condition. And then if we break out or if we break down, we then know the odds of being either above or below the closing value. So right now, we're just kind of waiting. We're pensively waiting for either the market to go above 5929.74 or to go below 5868.86. We're either waiting to break out of the previous high or break down below the previous close. And then it gives us the statistical probability of closing either above or below the previous day's closing value. So that's what we're waiting for. Right now, we are stuck waiting in this S zone, our start zone. And then from that event, we're going to know the exact odds, and we could break it up by weekday. We could look at the overall stats. We could look at it by the outside close, and we could also look at it as it being a red or a green. So we'll break that all down if it happens. Obviously, I can't make any guarantees of us breaking out or breaking down. Sometimes we do have inside days, which are just boring, non-trendy days. But in this event, either event A or event B, we'll then get the probability distribution of where we close relative to the previous closing value. So I think it'll make a little bit more sense if it does occur. So we're going to see. We'll have to just kind of wait there. But other than that, I don't know. Started off a little weak. We're recovering a little bit. I'm still swinging quite a few puts because in my book, I'm kind of watching this actually. And this doesn't relate to Edgeflow. This relates to the options market right about here. 5,900 is very much a risk on, risk off area. I could probably show you some things right here. Let me update this. Let me just start updating all the options movement right now. All right, updating. So right now, it looks like we have some key support. Well, this gamma's negative. So we're in a negative gamma environment, which means we can move and we can move very quickly. We're in a negative delta environment as well. Looks like we have some major support at 5890. So 5890 is obviously in a slight overshoot of this key technical and psychological level of 5,900. So I'll be watching this 10-point range between 5,900 and 5,900 or 890, this 10-point range. So that's what I'm watching out of the gate to see how the market reacts to it, because right out of the gate, the options market is telling us that that is very important. You could see today, this is the open interest on SPX. There's a lot of long calls and long puts at 6,000. We have a spike of action at 5,950, and then we have some long puts down here at 5,900, once again showing us that this is a very important level. And then past that, it looks like there's a spike at 5,850 like we saw at earlier this week, and another spike at 5,835. Once again, this is the current open interest for the 0 DTE. And then if we look at the open interest here, you can see that we're going to tilt. We're pretty much in negative gamma. We already knew that. And we're already in negative delta as well. So when I say negative gamma, negative delta, please understand that is not bullish. That is not bearish. It is more of just unstable price, as in large price swings. I would not be, you should never consider positive or negative gamma to be bullish or bearish. It could be both. It's more about telling you more about the price action of how crazy things are going to get. So right now we're in that event, and I guess out of the gate, the major thing I'm watching is first 5,900. Here, I'll switch to the 1 minute, 5,900. And then really I'm watching this whole 10-point region down to here. This is the support zone out of the gate. So if this holds, great. We could bounce out of it, and maybe we're going back up to retest the intraday high. Maybe we're testing that high from Tuesday. But if it doesn't hold this, then it's increasing the chances of this gap fill, as in hitting this closing value at 5,881.62, which is apparently where we closed out. And then if that doesn't hold, then we're talking about breaking down below the previous trading session, aka Tuesday's low. So right now, I'm not. The 5 minutes puking, the 10 minutes puking, the 30 minutes puking, the 4 hours been red. So 5 minute red, 10 minute red, 30 minute going from green to red. That's never good. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hours. So right now, and I get that we're only 5 minutes into the trading day, out of the gate, the bears are currently in control, but I wouldn't say they have massive control until we break below 5,890. And I'm literally just calling that level out here because that's where the last support is as of this moment. Right here, it's going from green to red, and this the point of least and we just snapped 5,900. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. But once again, this isn't like a full-fledged breakdown quite yet, but yes, we are still in negative gamma. I see coin vomiting. Coin's still up though. So a lot of things gapped up. I'm curious if we're going to get that red-green movement. But we see Tesla getting murked this morning. Not long ago, it was at 480. Now it's at 376. That's crazy. Oh, the Qs. The Qs are about to go. So actually in real time, wait. No. My bad. The Qs are at the closing value. Sorry, I thought that we were at the low because I was going to just give you guys this breakdown instead of the SPY. We could do the exact same analysis, but for the Qs. But we're a little bit farther away. But anyway, if the Qs break this low, the low broken and closes red, there's a 73% chance that we close the day out below the previous close. So to put that another way, let me try to do my best to explain this. Okay, right here. So the low value from Tuesday, the last trading session on QQQ, was 510.26, 510.26. If we end up breaking below that, if we go to 510.25, if that happens, if it happens, I'm not saying it's going to, but if it happens, there is then a 73% chance, a 3 in 4 chance that the closing value is what did we close at on Tuesday on the Qs? We closed at 511.23. 511.23. Okay, so this is how you would understand these conditional probabilities. If QQQ breaks below 510.26, as in if QQQ ends up at all today trading 510.25, as in we trade below it, there is then a 73% chance, a 3 in 4 chance that we end up closing today below 511.23. As in anywhere. It could be 511.22 and it could be literally anywhere below it. So once again, if we see 510.25 today, there is then a 73% chance that we close somewhere below 511.23. That's exactly how you would interpret this from Edgeful. Does that make sense to everyone? Does that make sense? Like, am I like, I guess this is the way I've been trading for years now. So I think some of the times I take it for granted. So I just want to make sure I'm explaining it in a way that is like making sense to all of you. Clear? I got a couple clears. I got a couple thumbs up. I got a couple clears. Do we all get it? Do we all get it? Oh, and by the way, once again, if you want this yourself, folks, it's pinned to the top of chat. Free 7-day trial. No harm, no foul. Try it out for an entire trading week. See if it's appropriate for you. You can test all of this stuff to your heart's desire. 7-day free trial. Why is it 73% chance? Because of how this is historically played out. So that's what Edgeful does. Edgeful looks at all the events that QQQ broke below the previous low over the past 5 years, and this is how often it happens, 73% of the time. So you can change it on, it's basically looking at a bunch of historic data. So you can look at it the 5-year, the 3-year, the 2-year. So that's the data length that you're going back in time to check it all out. So it's telling us all of the times that this exact event has occurred in whatever time frame, and it's saying, okay, out of all the events that we saw it, this is how many times it happened above and below, and then they just end up doing that for a bunch of different types of reports. And actually, QQQ and SPY are pretty similar, which makes sense because they're also pretty correlated. So boom, okay, it just happened. So it just happened. It just happened right there. So this now means that we're officially in this starter state, which means there is a 73% chance and a 27% chance for top and bottom. As in, there is a 73% chance that we close today at 4 p.m. We end up closing below 511.23. And then also simultaneously, there's a 27% chance that we close above 511.23. So basically a quarter, 1 in 4 times in this exact setup, we would close above this. And then 3 and 4 times in this exact setup, we would close below this. So obviously nothing in the market's ever guaranteed, but that's quite the edge because generally when it comes to the market, it's a 50-50 shot. Technically, really, the bulls always have about a 4% edge. So anyway, I don't want to get too crazy with it, but yeah, there is generally a slight edge for the bulls, but let's just call it 50-50. Now that we have this event, if you're saying, okay, well, where are we going to close relative to 511.23? Well, now instead of dealing with a 50-50 shot, you now actually have a 23% edge. Instead of 50, you're talking about 73. So is it a guarantee? No, but that exact bet, the bet that we close below 511.23 has just jumped up like dramatically. So if you were to take that bet time and time again, through a series of bets, like you should never go all in on one bet because I'm telling you, there's still a 27% chance that it blows up in your face. But with proper bet sizing, if you do that bet time and time and time again over the series of bets, that would be net profitable. It's similar to when people are counting cards. Like we know that when the edge is in your favor, not in one individual bet in blackjack, you're going to win even if the count's in your favor. That's not how it works. But if you do it with the edge time and time and time again, then over the long, like basically you have to survive in a stat term, what's referred to as variance. So hope that all makes sense. Have you looked at uranium? No, I have not. Tesla down 5%. Apple's down 2%. Microsoft's up slightly. Nvidia's up slightly. It looks like the SPY and the Qs are making a beeline. I haven't done any of my trades yet on my Apex account. I'm kind of waiting for, I suppose, a little bit of a better setup. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a little bit of a pop that I can then fade. That's effectively what I'm looking for. Haven't traded there. I'm looking for something like this. To trade on my Apex accounts. That's roughly what I'm looking for. A bit of a bounce that then stalls out and then starts to fail. And then I would use that scenario to be betting against the market. Just as a sanity check, the 5-minute, the 10-minute, the 30-minute, and the 4-hour are all bearish. The 5-minute, the 10-minute, the 30-minute, and the 4-hour are all bearish. We did puncture the previous low value on the Qs, but I do not believe that is true with the SPY. No, the low value was 584.42, and we didn't even hit the closing value yet on the SPY. Oh, golly. I wanted this to take more time. I didn't want this to break down so quickly. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. 70, 77, 77? Do I want to take this? Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, no, maybe so. Like I said, I would have preferred this not to have turned so quickly. I wanted a couple more minutes of it, maybe a little bit of a push, a little bit of a hold, but it's already showing quite a bit of weakness. Already showing quite a bit of weakness. What you're looking at right now on the screen is the NASDAQ on the futures market. The NQ contract is for the NASDAQ 100, very similar to NDX, very similar to QQQ. They're all tracking the NASDAQ. Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Why is it doing this to me so early in the day? It feels like it's a Monday, folks, but it's a Tuesday, which is kind of interesting. This is going to be my first futures trade of the new month in the new year. Man, that puts some pressure on this trade being a nice one. We knew there was, I think there was a, wait, Profit, are you in here? I think an announcement just came out at 9:45. 9:45. All right, I'm just kind of waiting. Like I said, I am still don't trade on news. Why? I think that's just like kind of an arbitrary thing that people say. Sir, it's a Thursday. Oh, that shows how much I know about days of the week. Trading on news, I think some people should and some people shouldn't. Some people are good at having models and predicting how the market reacts to news, and other people, most people are trash at it. Most people shouldn't trade at news, but then, I mean, I personally know people who pay all their bills off of trading news because they have models that, once again, have an edge and can accurately, over the long term, find that edge and take advantage of it and exploit it over various data reports. What time does Powell speak? Powell is not speaking today, to my understanding. Don't eat yellow snow. Yeah, that's just generically a good tip. For whatever reason, Coinbase is going up. I'm not really understanding that one right now. We're seeing a pretty decent bounce on the SPY off the previous closing value, or almost off the previous closing value. And then the Qs are bouncing off that previous low value. I think it still gets faded. I think it gets faded. And the only reason to just clarify why I think it gets faded is because this trend is so, it tried to go bullish. Even the 30-minute, everything, the 30-minute, the 10-minute, and the 5-minute was all bullish as of 8:40 this morning. And then it's just puking. The market was not agreeing with it whatsoever. All right. And this is that exact zone that I laid out for you guys of between 5,890, 5,900. The longer we stay below 5,900, and once again, this is just all coming from how we are currently set up in the options market. The longer we stay below 5,900, the more dangerous this gets for the bull camp. We are very much in a danger zone. Upside target, if you are bullish, would be around 5,935, just to throw that out there if we do get some sort of reversion. But it does look like the Vanna switches over around 5,935. 5,935. Hang on. I need to pay attention here because if the Qs start to puke, I need to get this trade off. If the Qs, which they're climbing up nicely ever since about 942-ish. 942-ish. We have some bulls coming in. I'm just wondering how long they could hold this. Now, this might end up being kind of a check mark, like a Nike swoosh intraday recovery. Obviously, that's possible. I think it's not that likely. Not that likely. Oh, are we breaking down on this? Like I said, I'm looking for this bounce. This is exactly what I was looking for. I want it to stall out. And then as soon as it starts to show weakness, I'm going to throw on a short position. But first I have to see that weakness, and then I want to kind of play it back down to the intraday low. That's the situation I'm looking for. Maybe it happens today, maybe it doesn't, but I'm only going to get in if I see that setup that I exactly want. Exactly want. We see a decent recovery. Vomit out of the gate, kind of scaring people. If I had to assume. Probably freaking people out for a second. Nope. Crap. Hang on. I'm trying to load up one more options thing. Let's see what's going on with this gamma, submit, state, latest gamma. All right, where are we in terms of gamma? So they're saying we got some support down here at 5870, 5875. Okay, so everyone's kind of moving their support levels down once again based on this option, somewhere between, what is this? This is 80, 75, 70. Okay. So this seems, if we turn here, and that's a big if it turns, we're talking about like basically the closing value, but that's a big if. Big if, obviously right now we're catching a bounce to the upside. A little bit of a bigger bounce than I anticipated. I really thought we were going to stall out around 512. I thought we were going to stall out around 588. So I'm just a little bit surprised of this, but I don't know. The 5 minutes still bearish, the 10 minutes still bearish, the 30 minutes still bearish, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute. All these are still bearish. I know that if you're looking at the 1 minute chart, you're like, this is a recovery. And granted, yes, it might end up becoming a full-fledged recovery, but I am not sold on that yet because all the moving averages, all of this price action is still telling me that the bears did too much damage this morning. And we need to kind of pay attention because the bull recovery has not been enough to undo all this damage. So the SPY is green by 0.4%. The Qs are green by 0.4%. But don't forget, a couple minutes ago, in fact, 11 minutes ago, the SPY was break even. And 6 minutes ago, the Qs were actually in the red. So be careful. And actually, if this falls much more, I might be taking a trade. Also, interesting note with respect to the Qs, since we already broke the low, there is still like as of right now, the fact that we broke the previous low at 940, even though we're above 511.23, the previous closing value, there is still a 73% chance that we close below that, which is very interesting. Think about what that means. There's a 73% chance that at some point today, we dip back below 511.23. Now, obviously, that's no guarantee, but those are still pretty decent odds. And I wouldn't trade just on that alone, but I think that is an interesting filter that you could add on to your other aspects of trading and how you view the market. So still a 73% chance that we actually not even hit 511.23, but actually close below 511.23. So once again, you can't trade your entire account on that because there's a 27% chance that this does not happen. And we could obviously just rip from here. That's totally possible. But the odds are telling us, I would be more aggressively playing this setup if the SPY had also broken below its previous low, 584.42, but we didn't even get to the closing value on the SPY. So that's why I haven't done anything quite yet. And I also haven't seen my strategy fire, which it got really close multiple times to firing, and it just didn't give me the signal quite yet. So I'm just kind of waiting to see what it's telling me to do. Man, this bounce considerably more than I thought it would be. Considerably more. All right, let's go back over to blue so we know the highs and the low on the day. Just kind of watching this, the highs and the low on the day. Just the intraday high and low. I like to know if we're breaking out or breaking down. Right now, we just, vomited from 932 to 940, and then from 940 to 953, just a full recovery. So as I commonly say, we are violently going nowhere. So you're saying there's a chance. Of course there's a chance. When it comes to the market, there's really no such thing as 0% or 100%. We're generally dealing somewhere in the middle of that. Somewhere between 1 and 99 seem to be the game that we're playing. How do you determine the percentage? You just go to Edgeful, and Edgeful gives it to you. And Edgeful is getting it by examining all the times you were in that circumstance over the past whatever time frame you care about. So I selected 5 years. So they look that up for all the times we were in that exact circumstance, and then they give you the odds of how it played out. I highly recommend checking it out. Like I said, it's a free 7-day trial. You don't have to pay anything. Try it out for a full week. I think you're going to seriously enjoy it. I mean, like I said, I actually found it like addictive, the amount of times that I was going through all the reports and breaking it down. And then I decided to jot down all the odds in my trading notebook right by me, just so I can quickly look at it. So when things like this happen, breaking out and breaking down, I can just right away know the odds and know the premium I need to collect. Just found it to be super helpful. All right. Are we above? Whoops. So the SPY and the Qs have not broken the high from the previous session. Not yet, at least. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. So I'm seeing the previous high at 29.74. If you are currently playing this, I do want to let you know that a reasonable upside target, it keeps actually moving up. You might want to watch 5950 because there's quite a few calls there. So if those players decide to monetize, but that's actually decently far away. I mean, we're talking about a breakout at 5930. The next big options level in terms of purchase calls is all the way up here at 5950. So I currently do not have a long position. I'm just letting you guys know about those levels, waiting for my opportunity because this has been kind of a wild open. So I'm just sitting back, trying to see how this is going to go, waiting for an opportunity to strike here. How do we make money from just this insight? I already explained that. That was like literally jukes. That was the whole opening show. And I even showed a trade that I used on Tuesday from it. And really the quick answer is credit spreads. And that's the exact trade I took on Tuesday based off the data from Edgeful making $850. But that's, I mean, there's many ways to do it. I'm not saying that's like the only, like the exclusive way to do it, but the most evident way that at least jumps out to me are credit spreads. So, wow, what a Kansas City shuffle we have going on here. We puked after 2 minutes of nothing. We had a hard puke, and then just an even harder recovery. I mean, this opening session has been clearly we are in negative gamma. These types of large swings do not really commonly happen when you're in a positive gamma setup. This is specific to the fact that we are just so, where is this? We are so, actually, we're about to flip. 5930 becomes interesting resistance because it's a flip back into positive gamma on a 0 DTE basis. So from an options perspective and from a price perspective, because this is Tuesday's session high, this line right here becomes massively important. Another way to put that is I definitely wouldn't be buying here. Obviously, the buy signal was back when we recovered over here above 5,900. And even that I didn't absolutely love. I would say that's more of like a C plus setup to be buying here than anything else. But I would not be chasing this. Of course, it could keep going, but we know the previous high can act as resistance, and we also can see on a 0 DTE perspective, options, that's when the gamma goes to positive, as in price might be slowing down pretty aggressively. It looks like the bounds of what we have going on today are 5960 and 5890, upper bound, lower bound. Just be careful about this gamma flip. Wait, did that just update? Hang on, there might have been an issue. I thought it was 5930, but it just updated to 5945. So there might be new trades coming into the market. But this might just be getting a little bit, like I said, this could be resistance, but the gamma switch seems to have run up higher. Oh, are we getting rejected on the 5 and the 10? The 5 and the 10 minute just ran right up to their 50 EMAs. Right up to the 50 EMAs. I'm curious if this is actually going to hold. The 30 minute is back green. The 30 minute is back green. What a crazy range. Just vomit, huge bounce. Vomit, huge bounce. Curious what this next play is actually going to be. Dude, I don't know. I can see that my thing is about to fire bearish, and I have to be honest with you, I'm a little bit nervous about taking the trade. I'm a little bit nervous about taking the trade. But I don't know. Skynet is pretty solid. Skynet is pretty freaking solid. Do I want to do it? It hasn't fired yet, but it's getting crazy close to telling me to go bearish. It's making me feel antsy. This push is losing steam, but then again, we're also not even 30 minutes in. We haven't hit the 10 a.m. hour yet. I'm feeling iffy about it. And this is exactly why I'm feeling iffy about it, is because crazy things happen at 10 a.m. The Q's just pushed there. Are they going to fade this all the way back down? Are they going to fade this? No way. Are they going to be that devious to start off the new trading year? Is to pump that right at 10 just to smash it? Are they really going to do it? A little 10 a.m. pump? The 5 minute and the 10 minute, like they're like just on top of the cliff to try to recover bullish. I wonder if they're just going to smack it. Look at this, the 5 minutes, the 10 minute, like they're fighting so hard to get up here. This is going to be a decisive zone, right where we're at right now. If you can catch the trend from here, you might have a pretty solid like risk to reward setup, obviously, if you're disciplined enough to cut it where you need to. But from what I'm seeing, things are pretty indecisive. My bear signal is not fired yet on this, like a reversal from this push. It's close, but it hasn't done it yet. Close, but no cigar. Every single time I think it's going to break out and just keep going, smacked. Every time I think it's going to break down from this little range right here and start a trip back down, it just bounces. We're kind of just getting like pinned over the past 10 minutes to do, like, we're just kind of going sideways right now. The price had enough discovery to the downside, enough discovery to the upside, and ever since 9:55, we're all just kind of awkwardly waiting. Awkwardly waiting to see what in the world is going on, myself included. Patience, folks. I mean, at least the way I view the market, I don't see a trade right now. I know of no good model that would predict this breakout or this breakdown. I would honestly feel a little bit more comfortable about the breakdown if the SPY just tags this high right here just to clean up the chart. But we've seen crazier things happen. I mean, my finger's on the trigger here. I'm ready to trade. I'm not comfortable with this trade, but we're going to see, I suppose. $60. Come on. Either do it or don't. Either do it or don't, brother. Is this actually, I'm just waiting to see if this tilts over a little bit, like pretty much where my cursor is. And then I'll take my first stab at the new year. Are we doing it? Are we doing it? Are we doing it? What does flow look like? People are buying calls. Puts are flat. Calls have been okay. So this stalled out because people stopped buying 0 DTE calls. They stopped their calls. Interesting. All right, so it's not really renewed bearish aggression. Just price stalled out because people stopped buying calls. Like the call line, the delta just like went flat. Actually, I think I can see that right about here. Right about here. What am I? Net GEX. Net convexity. So the GEX was picking up. Yeah, 5,900. This recapture was pretty important. Pretty important. GEX is picking up a little bit. All right. SPY right now tagging the high. Gotcha. All right, so the SPY just made a new intraday high, technically breaking out of its first 30-minute range. Same thing with the Qs. I guess now we might as well just have this down here. We might as well have this down here. I'm just curious if there's going to be follow through. The net GEX is picking up. Net aggregate DEX. Is that the only one? All right. Wow. I can't really bring myself to chase this right here because obviously the entry you could have got in on this or even back here on this breakout. It feels like it's a little late for me. And I also don't like necessarily throwing on a bearish position when we're just transitioning from bearish to bullish. So there's just too many times where I've attempted to do that and then I just get crushed anyway. If anything, I would like a bigger push that pulls back into the EMA bases and then pops off of that. I would use that as a pretty comfortable bullish entry. But there's just too many times where the second it goes over, I'm like, oh, this is great. And then one of two things happens. Either it gets crushed and I get screwed, or it dips bases and bounces anyway. And if I was just more patient, I could have had a better entry. So I don't like chasing this right now. And if you feel like chasing it, hey, I wish you all the power. Looks like the next stop, if we keep pushing, is all the way up here at 5,950. Once again, I'm just getting that from where we see, wait, this is 5,945. This is where the 0 DTE GEX goes positive. Once again, 5,945. Looks like there's resistance up here at 5,960. And then there's support all the way down here at 5,890, which is not moving. So still be careful. Am I really going to be the crazy man fading this? Something about it. I am just not sold on this push from bearish to bullish. Something about it, team. I don't know. I can't really articulate it. My spidey senses are tingling. Like, is this just like a fake out break? Like, we took out a high, we took out these highs. Is this just that trap to get people sucked in there and then they dump it on them? Or is this legitimately bullish? I mean, I guess I could take a low risk short here and try to fade it. That's an option. We're starting to dive in the underlying options market here. This thing is just holding on by the skin of its teeth. Barely holding on, folks. Okay. All right. Just getting ready. Just getting ready because I might have to be doing something here pretty soon. All right, can I do any more sanity checks? I'm trying to keep myself from doing a stupid trade. I feel like that's bad luck to come out of the gate with a dumb trade, improper risk reward, and then I'm really not trying to get in a situation where I do something so incredibly stupid that I like go on tilt on the first day. Really trying to avoid that. Obviously, I would much rather just not trade than go on tilt, because when I go on tilt, it ends pretty horribly. Man, this is still getting that nice little push to the upside. Higher highs and higher lows. We're getting that grind. This is still a very important level. And then on top, this is the important level, 5,950, which is a very wide range. Obviously, 5,950 to 5,900. That's a $5 range in the SPY, but that's the key upside level. This is the key downside level. It is what it is. It is what it is. I don't think we really stabilize until we get above 5,945 and like hold it. 5,945. We're still, this is, I don't think we're really out of the woods yet, team. This is not really giving me any indication of like, hey, this is just a great little bullish market where we can buy and sit back and enjoy. The fact that according to spot gamma price is super unstable. Come on, dude. I keep looking over and my signal Skynet is like, it's just teasing me with a bearish entry. Like it's getting really close and then just doesn't do it. I keep looking over here because we're getting that freaking close and it just hasn't actually fired it off yet. And if I do take it, it's generally better to take the signal right away because I generally have less risk. That's not always 100% true, but I just keep peering over and it's just messing with me. Messing with me. Just the way this is. Are we coming back in? Are we coming back in? Or are we bouncing right out? Which, hey, as I don't mind this bounce out as long as I don't have the position yet. It didn't dip enough. Didn't dip enough to completely screw me over. The market is drunk. I'm still long AF. Well, if you're long, this is the first little like breather you've had in like being a bull for the past, 3 to 5 trading sessions has not been good at all. So I guess it's good that you have a little bit of a breather, but I would bet that your account has been like, that was some serious pain you took. I mean, this is the first little breather we've had since Thursday, December 26th. That's brutal. Dude, this is still just going right now. Wow. That's crazy. It really is the Nike swoosh recovery. But see how it's just started to severely stall out at the turn of the hour. Big puke, big recovery. We hit 10 a.m. and it's kind of grinding down, a little bit of a stronger grind to the upside. It just all of a sudden became indecisive. Even the candles, they just will look wildly different. Big range, and then nothing, just stuck in mud. Just stuck in mud. Maybe I just need to set up an alert. Where would my alert be? I don't know. I guess I could watch this. Am I being dumb? I mean, it would be minimal risk. If I try to fade this move, the initial jolt was to the downside. Bit of recovery, inversion. Yeah, huge 10-minute vomit followed by an even larger 20-minute recovery. I guess the market gods did not want to start us off with an easy trading day by any means, did they? They did not want to start us off with an easy trading day. So coming back to the price movement, the shortest time frames, the 5, the 10, and the 30 are all Well, the 30's favoring the bulls. The 5 and the 10 are slightly favoring the bulls, while the 4 hours favoring the bears. Same thing on the Nasdaq. The 5 and the 10 slightly favoring the bulls. The 30-minute clearly favoring the bulls, and then the 4 hour still favoring the bears. So we are getting this mismatch between various time frames, but at least the ES and the NQ, the time frames match, so at least they're in sync. But the time frames relative to each other don't make the most sense right now. Don't make the most sense. Tesla. What a freaking mess. Well, while we're waiting for something, obviously I'm waiting to trade my Apex accounts here. I haven't done anything yet, hence why my realized P&L is 0 and I just have nothing going on. Waiting for an opportunity, but I do want to let you guys know that it's in the description, but this 90% off New Year sale on Apex ends in 16 hours, just under 16 hours. So basically you have till late tonight to sign up for it. This is dirt cheap. This is equivalent to the best deal that they've ever run. All the accounts, doesn't matter the size or whatever. If you use that code GOONIE, GOONIE, you can get all of these accounts for basically $17. Doesn't matter the size. It's a one-time fee for the upgrade instead of monthly. Like I said, this is tied with the best deal that they run. And in fact, there are some decent arguments that this is the best deal they've ever run. So check that out. My mod will drop it in chat just when you're signing up to take advantage of this. Make sure when you're checking out in the coupon section to put in GOONIE. You have just under 16 hours left. Price is really stalling here. We could push all the way up to 5,960, and then there's support at 5,920. Oh man, why could we not have had... I mean, the options are taking a slight hit here. We're in positive, yes. It's slowing down. All right. If this breaks 400 again, like if NQ, the... NQ, which is the futures account or the futures contract for the Nasdaq, if we can't hold 21,400, I might throw on a short there and then just risk this recent high and see how it goes. I'm not in love with it though, if I'm being completely honest. I'm not in love with it. It's not the highest tier setup, but I might be able to take advantage of it without that much risk. So even though it's not the best setup, you can get in for maybe a lower risk opportunity. And who knows, maybe I get lucky and it vomits and I seem like a genius. But this is taking forever. Taking absolutely forever. Man, I thought this was really going to break down back here, which... Back when I said, I was looking for the sideways movement and the puke, the fact that I never saw it is why I didn't go short, and that also saved me from getting completely destroyed. But now we have to look at some new interesting lines. We're going to watch that. And we're going to watch this. This is what I'm up to. Which one are we going to break? What is your best guesses? Are you guys focusing on this? I guess I am like legitimately interested in your opinion here. Are you guys looking for this to continue and ride higher? Or are you kind of like more so looking to fade this overall bullish movement? Call wall, F490, put wall, call walls and put walls. Some call walls and some put walls. Haven't gone short yet, but I almost did. I'm doing it.
Order
I'm doing
filled.
it. Oh, buy stop market.
Order
right.
submitted.
I'm attempting to play this breakdown. I have well-defined risk. The die are in the air, and now I'm lit in lady luck. I'm letting Lady Luck determine how this one plays out for me. All I can tell you is I waited for the first sign of weakness. All I could tell you is I think I have decent risk reward. And when I say decent risk reward, I just went short. I'm risking the intraday high and my potential reward is all the way down at the intraday low. So from a risk reward perspective, this is favorable. Is it going to hit? I have no idea, folks. I can't tell you the future. I can't tell you the future. The thing I don't like about this trade, why I would consider this to not be like an A+ setup, honestly, this might not even be a B setup, is I would prefer that the 5-minute and the 10-minute were actually below the cloud when they're kind of right in the middle of the cloud, or really actually at this moment, they're on top of the cloud. So this is, I don't know, I think this is a pretty mid-tier setup. This is not a quality setup, but at least I have risk, well-defined risk. As if this does push, I mean, the fact that I don't love it, maybe I moved my risk already. I think there's a certain school of thought that if it recovers this trend line, I could just cut it then. Maybe something like that. Yeah. Now that I'm like kind of going over it live with all of you, I don't think there's much point in me taking on massive risk on this trade because I'm not in love with it. This is not a 5-tier setup for me or a whatever tier. What am I doing? What am I doing with my life, folks? What in the world am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I freaking doing?
Order submitted. Order filled.
Fucking rocked it. 20K.
Order canceled.
20K. And then I just have this one running right now. So I left one on to run, locked in 20K. Fucking patience, team. Fucking patience. Do you know how long I had to wait for that? I had to wait 50 minutes. Dude, I like trading out of the first 5 minutes. Dude, folks, do you know how much patience that I am not a patient individual? Ask my wife. Apparently, I have no patience, according to her. It took me a long time to wait for that 40 to 50 minutes pass. And it paid. Patience paid. Instead of rushing it, where I first told you I wanted to get in, I told you. I was like, hey, I think I might be shorting it here. And I just never saw the opportunity. And it's good I didn't rush it, because if I did, I would have gotten blown out. Instead, I waited like a sniper. I was there crawling around the jungle floor in Vietnam. And I was just waiting for that opportunity. I got my binoculars up and I'm just running around the jungle floor. I was scouting it out. There I was. I was like, all right, where the fuck are they? And I was crawling. Around. And then boom! Out of nowhere, I took the shot. Fucking, I don't know. I don't know how else to put this, folks. I just like, this is what it's like as the best trader in the entire world. It's tough. Heavy lies the crown. Heavy lies the crown. You know what? Actually, all of this talk of Vietnam, it makes me think maybe we should celebrate a little bit. Here we go. I should probably put in a stop on this. Bye.
Order submitted.
Well, now that I'm definitely getting taken down, we might as well start listening to this. What is this song? All right, new song Thursdays with Matt, with DJ Matt. What is this? Okay.
Would you rather?
What is this song? I haven't heard this.
Would you rather need a wing for the rest of your life, constantly, or
I feel like you've got to have a second part ready for it to work as a would you rather.
yeah,
You know.
okay, or all your exes in the same room at once?
House, come on, man.
I'm kidding. She might not even be there. Should I be the one that's anxious?
What is this song? They're just talking.
Bella. Honestly, just energy is like a lot.
New song. New song Thursdays with Matt. All right, here we go. There's a lot of exposition on this one. Okay. All right. What is this, dude? Okay.
And I only drink when I overthink.
Order filled.
I only smoke when I
Got knocked out. Made 1.5K on that.
I only drink
So,
when I overthink.
21,000.
I only smoke when I drink. And I only drink when I overthink. I only smoke when I drink. And I only drink when I overthink. I only smoke when I drink. And I only drink when I overthink. Smoke when I drink. And I only drink when I overthink. And I only think about you. And I only think about you.
Order submitted.
And I only think about you.
Did I just walk into Zara? That's a good one. I don't know. It's a new song that just came up. It's called Nimino. Nemo? Nimino. 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 I think it's French for minnow. I don't know. We started off with Fortunate Son, and now we're here.
When I overthink, I only smoke when I drink. And I only drink when I overthink. I only smoke when I drink. And I only drink when I overthink. And I only think about you. And I only think about you. I only think about you. And I only think about you. And I only think about you. And I only think about you.
I only smoke when I drink, and I only drink when I overthink, and I only think about you. Another thought of you, another shot or two, the room's spinning, your head's spinning, and I'm drowning about new women and young women. I
only smoke when I drink, and I only drink when I overthink, and I only think about you. Another thought of you, another shot or two, the room's spinning, and your head's swimming, and I'm drowning about new women and young women.
All right. Hang on. I'm trying to figure out. Here, I'm switching up some screens. I have another pending short. If we break down here, I was looking at this low. So I have a short sitting. Is that the right level? No, it is not, Matthew. Harry, no. No, Harry. It has to be you. Not me. Not Hermione. You. All right. Are we breaking down here? Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, no, maybe so. For those of you in the Discord, I have not sold any premium yet, and Piper's not fired yet because we are waiting. No, Harry, no, it has to be you. It has to be you. You, Harry. Harry Potter. Harry Potter is Dobby's friend. Sometimes I feel like I just look at these numbers too much and I'm like losing my fucking mind. Does anyone else feel like they're just slowly losing their tethers to reality? Like, It all started back when my vice principal told me I was never going to get married. And it was that destructive, psychologically altering conversation I had back in sophomore year of high school that has set me on the path I'm currently on. You know?
Order filled.
Oh, Jesus. Jesus Louise. Oh, we're short. This is my, this account. I'm what? Help! Mom! No, hurry! We gotta stop Snape! Today, I am dedicating all of my profits to stopping Snape from resurrecting the Dark Lord himself, Voldemort. I'll say it. I'm not afraid of saying that pussy's name. Voldemort, Voldemort, Voldemort. Fucking come at me, you noseless loser. All right, what are we doing? What are we doing? Cat? Piper? Voldemort's a pussy. Snape was a good guy. Not in the first movie. We didn't find that out till later. No spoiler alerts, though. How much money am I supposed to be making on this account? What's the consistency rule on a 100K account? Am I allowed to make 2.5? No, Snape. No. Harry. You know what they never talk about? Honestly, side note from the market, just pause the market for a second. They never talk about how Professor McGonagall is the best sports recruiter of all time. Folks, I've seen a lot of football, and these football analysts and pundits, they're as good as they aren't. Sometimes they pick highly recruited people that are awesome and are absolute studs, and then sometimes they just pick complete mess-ups, absolute mess-ups. McGonagall, she saw a freshman, like a nerdy little kid, and she's like, he's on the team. Like, it is never, ever, ever stated how good she was at picking Harry to be on the Hogwarts Quidditch team. Like, seriously, she saw one catch, and she's like, dude, that kid, he has something. It's, I don't know. I don't think she gets enough recognition for high quality athletic recruitment to the Gryffindor Quidditch team. And like, and at no point did they thank her. Like, seriously. Her decision alone got them multiple years of winning the school cup. And at no point were they like, thank you, Professor McGonagall. So that's also, now that we're on the topic of Harry Potter and sports, for those of you who don't know, Harry Potter world took place in the mid-90s. Do you know what else took place in the mid-90s? Anyone? This is not rhetorical. Does anyone else know that in the mid-90s, the Chicago Bulls went on one of the most impressive NBA runs of all time? And at no point was the Dark Lord like, hey, fucking Jordan's kind of crushing it, right? Like, they didn't bring that up once. I checked it out. Like, if you bring up all the Harry Potter, all the books and do a control F on the 95 Chicago Bulls or Jordan or anything like that, doesn't come up. Does not. What? Not one time when they were finding all those Horcruxes were like, God damn, Jordan can lay it down. I'm just saying it's inconsistent. That's all I'm saying is, as much as it's lauded as like a great book, maybe, just maybe, there should have been a little bit of like historic accuracy to the time. Just throwing it out there. I'm just calling it how I see it. That's it. That's the only thing I wanted to bring up. We're not going to go too far down this rabbit hole, even though it is a big rabbit hole. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? The fact that it only took us like an hour and a half to go off the rails for this New Year is kind of upsetting. The Muggle world didn't matter. Matt, are you okay? Dude, whatever. I don't think they overlapped. Dude, trust me, Muggle world or not, everyone in the 90s knew what was going on with the Chicago Bulls. Like, other galaxies got the little radio message from our Earth saying, yeah, no, the Chicago Bulls are on quite the run right now. Like, no. Don't give me that stuff. Oh, it's completely different worlds. No. Literally everyone. The fucking dark side of the moon was getting updates on the Chicago Bulls in the mid-90s. Don't give me that shit. Don't even come at me with that weak sauce. Don't do it. Remember when I told you, even on this huge pop, that there was a 73% chance we go below this? You're welcome. And also show a little bit of love to Edgeful. A free 7-day trial. All that information I had that I called out to you to make that 20 grand, folks, Edgeful, click it. Link pinned to the top of chat. Free 7-day trial. No harm, no foul. You don't have to spend a dime. Check it out. See if you like it. All right. What were we talking about? Market stuff. Am I in this position still? Oh, shit. I was green and now I'm red. I'm just trading my last account. So I traded my 20 Apex accounts. I traded my 1 take profit account, and now I'm trading my 1 Top Step account. Remember, Apex, this gnarly deal ends in about 15 hours, 90% off. That's also in the description. All the stuff I use, I just say that because like I get the question a gazillion times a day. If I'm using a piece of software such as Edgeful or TradingView or Apex or Gex or any of it, Spot Gamma, all that stuff, just check the description of the video. If I have some sort of like better deal for you, it's going to be in there. Net put buying. Ooh, whoa. Damn. How about those 95 bulls? Back to break even. What are we doing? What are we doing here, Tonto? That song was kind of catchy. It had an interesting beat. Sorry, folks. Just making 20 grand on the first trading day of the year gets me jazzed up. Makes me feel some sort of way. Coins getting hit. Tesla's down. MSFT's break even. Apple's down by 2%. Nvidia's up 2%. Meta's up 2%. Broadcom's up 1.5. Rumble's down by 2 cents. It's basic break even. DJT's green. Palantir's red. MSTR's up by 3.5%. Amazon's up by 1. Coors is up by 1. Texas Roadhouse is up by 2. Oil's up. Oil's up to the mid 73s. Gold's up as well, almost an entire percent. Yields are dropping, so bonds are going up. How is TLT looking? Harry, no. Oh, bonds are flat on the daily. Harry Potter, the chosen one. Yeah, that was a pretty hard puke. Harry Potter. Shit. Seriously? No. Oh, do I need to front run some of this selling of premium? Dude, it's just not trading at anything today. But maybe that's just life. Maybe sometimes we're just not worth anything. Huh? No, Harry. All right, I'm going to see if I could get this order in. I don't know. Oh, nope. It didn't even come close to getting filled. My bad. Just in. Hindenburg Research announces Carvana short report. Well, that can't be good for Carvana. Hang on. If you're in the Discord, Piper has not fired, but I took a trade attempting to front run Piper because I'm too worried that by the time Piper does fire, stuff will be way too decayed. So I'm taking a shot at it, and I'm putting my trade in the Discord right now. And you guys could sign up for the Discord if you so choose. If you want to join me on my path to insanity. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. All right, so that's in there. Like I said, Piper has not fired yet for whatever reason. Well, I know the reason is because we haven't really trended anywhere. We don't have enough momentum. We don't have enough momentum. Momentum. What is today? January 2nd, I believe. January. Are you guys excited that we're only 1 month away from spelling the hardest month? February. Like, who came up with that shit? Who came up with it? February. February. All right, we're waiting. Waiting, we're waiting. All right, lower bound, it's moving down, 588, 5875. Piper just fired, January 2nd. Whoa. Seriously, Piper? Okay. All right, Piper's in there. My trade's in there, and I'm still riding this bad Mamma Jamma on this breakdown. How much am I supposed to go for? 2.5. So I could go for just... I could go for... What's the max I could go for? 63... 63, 43. All right, I'm just gonna throw in this order there.
Submitted.
If we go all the way down there, I'm more than happy with it. So like whatever. That I'm not saying that's my only target. If we were reversed before that, my stop loss might get hit. But I'm just trying to do the mental math of the farthest I want to go because I'm still working on the consistency. So the two accounts you see up right now are just eval accounts that I'm trying to pass, but those Apex accounts are already at the performance account. So the Apex ones I'm going for real money, while the take profit and the top step, I am currently just trying to pass those to be able to trade for real money, if that makes sense. So that's why I have to be kind of cognizant of these various levels. But looks like we're going heavy. I told you about this. I told you. Gexbach, dude. The gamma is dropping. The delta is dropping. Well, we got a little pop right there. Some puts got covered. Some calls purchased. But yeah, Gex is dropping and gamma is dropping. We are very, very much in this negative territory. We're coming up. It looks like right now support is just below 5,880. Obviously, you guys know all about this zone that I have laid out for you. This is the previous high. This is the previous low. Let me just clean this up so we don't have so many lines. Where did I say support was? It was like 77.5. Something like that. All right. So the white line on the chart right now is the... Don't mind that giant arrow. The white line is the previous close, so that's the green to red move on the S&P 500. And right now, coordinates, based on the current options market setup, the support is basically 5,877.5. So we're watching this for support. We're watching this for support. We're watching this region right here to see if we bounce out of it or not. And who knows? Maybe we catch a bid at the current intraday low, which is possible. I don't think it's going to hold just because 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour. Everything's red. Also on top of that, we're just saying we're in negative gamma. If we're seeing right now, there's not much going on in the way of options. Yes, granted, these 5,900s are in the money, so those puts might monetize. But if they don't, the next big node is right here at 5,880. Let's reload this. I'm just trying to go over the key levels. Obviously, we can see that we are in negative gamma. We're in this south side. Oh, this is also clearly negative gamma. Yeah, below 5,900, 5,905, like that region, the longer we sit below here, and this is how I kind of laid it out for you this morning, the longer we sit below 5,900, the more dangerous this clearly becomes. So we were below it. Buyers stepped in. Those buyers couldn't hold. It was sold aggressively, and we dipped below it. We try to recover here at 1036. No luck. This is not looking so good. This is not looking so good. How do I want to play this? All right, I'll set up some alerts for breakdowns and breakouts. All right, just getting some alerts up so we don't miss anything big. Tesla's getting its face kicked in ever since 1010. Coinbase is getting its face kicked in since 1003. Basically, between 10 and 1015, 1020, that's when everything just started to go to shit for the day. Just started to go. Yeah, Liquid IV. Oh, my favorite electrolyte is Element, LMNT. I love those. I drink them like it's my job, dude. Element, if you're listening, I'll happily take a sponsorship, or if you just want to send me a package of electrolytes, I'm down for it. But my favorite electrolyte mix is it's called Element, that's how it's pronounced, but the branding is LMNT. It's a sugar-free electrolyte mix. While if you're doing Liquid IV, I think there's 10 or 11 grams of sugar in it. Uh, 5 minute bearish. I just keep wanting to do my sanity checks as we come up. This is it. We're just waiting for this zone right here, this 4 or 5 point zone, the close, this option support level, and then if that doesn't hold, if we do break this, just in case this happens after, we potentially have a shot all the way down to 5835. So that, like, things could get crazy. Because if this doesn't hold as of now, and obviously the market's dynamic, things change throughout the day, we might be talking about all the way down here, which would be kind of crazy because that is a 1% drop from where we currently are. That's the next big options level. Once again, these are the long puts at 5835. How does that look? Yeah, huge volume. Huge put volume at 5835, pretty decent open interest there. And it's within the bounds of our expected range. We're technically right outside of it, but totally in play. Totally in play. If. So once again, if it's an if then statement. If we break and hold below this support, so not just like a little wick down, but break down and like trade some bars below it, then that opens up the door for a vomit all the way to here, 5835. So it's a big if then. Like, I'm not calling this out right now. I'm saying if we come down and test this, which I do think we're going to test it, and if the bears end up winning this test over the bulls, as in we hold below, not bounce quickly back above, if we break below this, I think it really does open the door all the way up to 5835. So just in case that happens in the latter half of the day when the show's over, these are some of the levels that we're seeing are already acting as pivotal reaction points, or points of interest, levels of interest, price levels, like whatever the hell you want to call it. Am I red on this trade now? Oh, I am. I probably should have gotten out of that. I forgot I was in this trade. Yeah, I should have gotten out at break even. I don't know what I was thinking. Well, now I'm just trying to get lucky, I suppose. I definitely should have had a break-even set because this thing went literally 50 points in my favor. Almost 50 points, 45 points in my favor. That was really stupid of me to not have a break-even set there. Maybe I'll get lucky and maybe it just gets smacked, but in terms of quality risk-reward management, I should have had a stop, and then even if it tilts back over, I could always get back into the position, but I should have pulled the ripcord on that. I was not paying attention. All right. These are getting annoying. All right. Now we just got to kind of wait. The alerts are set. We know the key levels. Now what do we have to do? Is there any breaking news we should be covering? What's going on? Let's just check the world. Tesla share slide after reports first drop in annual deliveries. Stocks rise. Crypto, Roaring Kitty, and Barcoin market speculation picks up to start 2025. Mortgage demand dives nearly 22% to end 2024. These airlines are the most on time for 2024. Cryptocurrencies jump to start 2025. Deadly Tesla's Cybertruck blast outside of Trump Hotel in Las Vegas was intentional, according to officials. Red Lobster closed. Okay, cool. Not really seeing anything too crazy there. New Orleans attack, Cybertruck blast raise for U.S. security fears. New York Police Department seeking gunman after 10 people wounded outside Queens nightclub on New Year's Day. Jesus. Tesla sales stall. So instead of it's still over 2 million and people freaked out. Okay, interesting. The case for porn, blah, blah, blah. Trudeau leaves Canada in suspense. D.E. Shaw to return billions after flagship hedge fund gains 18%. I think that underperformed the SPY. I think the SPY was in the mid-20s, so that's a bit interesting. All right, not seeing anything there. What about the Wall Street Journal? New Year's violence in New Orleans and Las Vegas rattles the U.S. Tesla global vehicle deliveries fell in 2024 for the first time in years. The Levi Strauss heir elected to save San Francisco. FBI sting stopped a Russian smuggler, but not his Hong Kong supply route. If you say so. TikTok ban. Okay. Not seeing... Whoa. Potential reversal here. Let's see if it can go all the way back up. Maybe yes, maybe no. The SPY actually, and the Qs, both putting in a higher low as of now. I'm curious to see what the next high is. Is the next high going to take out 591? Is the next high going to take out 516? Or is it a lower high and this is a momentary bounce that gets crushed? So that is going to be the next watch for me to see where the next high is. And an easy way to do that is just put fractals on your chart. Obviously, the green carrots are the high, the red carrots are the low. So we have higher high, higher low. This low is pretty much an equal low. So I'm curious, the next green carrot. Is the next green carrot going to take out these upper levels, or is it a lower one and then we end up cratering through below 5888? That's definitely what I'll be looking at. How much am I down? Oh, this is manageable. What am I freaking out about? 75. In fact, if this comes in any lower, I might even double up, get real crazy with it. 75.
Order filled.
All right, now I have 2. Oh, golly. Golly. I doubled up on that. I doubled up. The W. What am I in at? 65, 50, 15. Okay, so now I can bring my target all the way up to here. Yeah, 10. Okay, that's my new target. Oh, wait a second. Nope. All right,
Order canceled.
That. I need to do 2 and then 10. Sell, stop, market.
Order submitted.
All right, cool. Just had to update the proper contract amount. Well, that's a bit of a bummer that it's ripping that quickly against me. I really thought I was going to puke through this. Time will tell. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour, all bearish. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour, all bearish. I will mark out that high. I will mark out that high. And then I'm going to mark out these recent lows because that's going to give me a better idea of the market structure. Or do we have higher highs and higher lows, or lower highs and lower lows? This will be most likely, not definitively, but this next setup between highs and lows, will, whatever that way goes, will probably be the major.
Order filled.
My stop just got hit on that. Shoot. Will probably be the major indication of what in the world is going on in the next move. So that's why I have these recent high and lows set up. Let me switch over this camera because I believe you guys send in some things to react to. React. All right, let's see what you guys found. Let's see what we have as we're waiting. Once again, I have the alert set, just waiting for the breakout or the breakdown. That's all we're waiting for. Whitney Cummings. Kamala was forced on us so hard, you think she was patented by Pfizer?
2024 election fried our brains. The Democrats couldn't hold a primary because they were too busy holding a body upright. Are we still rolling? Am I off?
Go for it.
It was amazing that the pro-choice party didn't give their voters one when it came to the presidential candidate. Kamala was forced on us so hard you'd think she was patented by Pfizer or Moderna, whichever one's. Oh, God. Andy just gave me a very scary look.
No!
Yeah. About that. All right, where are we at? What is this?
If you're a veteran or a Gold Star family member, can you tell me a time that you have ever had somebody from the VA show up at your door and say, if you don't fill out this paperwork, we are going to suspend your benefits this month? I hadn't until today. So 62 days ago, someone from the VA called me and said, hey, there's this new program within the VA. We see that you are receiving survivor benefits because your husband was killed overseas. Well, we want to know how you're spending it. So we want you to put that $600 in a separate bank account so we can track it, but we also want receipts. I told him, well, I need to verify this because this does not sound legit. And so I reached out to other widows and not one of them had heard of this new program. So I didn't fill out the paperwork because it sounded super sketchy. After 30 days, the guy called me back again and he started calling me every day. And I said, hey, I have not been able to verify this. You guys have not sent me any information about it. I've asked for more information and you guys just said, just fill out the paperwork. So I reached out to another widow and she said, yes, this is an actual program that's happening within the VA, but you should be reaching out to your senators because we should not be treating war widows like this by telling them that all these hoops that they have to jump through for $600. So the VA is at the point that they are so hard up for tracking $600 that they are now showing up at my door and saying if I don't fill this out that my benefits are going to be stopped this month. Now, I can easily fill it out, but the bigger problem is that they are harassing widows over $600. $600, y'all.
I think a bigger question here is why are we paying war widows only $600 a month? What is going on? How do we only have $600 a month for war widows and then we have billions and billions and billions of dollars for Ukraine? What? Breaking, Representative Mike Collins just bought up to another $15,000 of ski mask dog. It appears to have a market cap of just $200 million. The last time he bought the coin, it went up 280% in 3 days. You gotta love it. If you ever want to track what politicians are doing in real time with their money, go to swamptrades.com. It is 100% free. Bro is cooking.
What is your hottest political take?
It's entirely possible to provide food, clothing, shelter, housing, education, and medical care for every human being on the planet without fighting a war or ripping anybody off or handing over control of yourself to someone else.
I completely agree. That's a good one.
Hot take. That's a solid hot take.
To say that.
But it sure as shit is, ain't it?
What is your...
That's a pretty solid hot take. Chinese Elon Musk knows the YMCA Trump dance. I'm Elon.
Hi everyone, I'm Elon Musk.
Oh, he just gets me. Those videos. Why are they so funny? This kid is at least 46 and on his second divorce.
Yeah.
You got a lot of work to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta water grass, pick stuff up, pick sticks, chairs, all kinds of stuff up.
What about the chickens? You gonna feed them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You do? What about the eggs?
Yeah, I'm gonna check them. I'm gonna check the mail.
Well, I already checked the mail.
Okay. Any?
Yeah, we did get a few things. Bills.
Okay, I'm another one over there and water grass over there. I'll be in the time 1. Okay?
What time?
1.
1?
I'll be in at 1.
Well, it's like, it's 5:40. right now.
Yeah.
Anyways, I gotta hurry and pick some sticks up and water the grass.
All right. Love you.
Love you, bye. Yeah.
I love this kid. Yeah. It's 5:40 though. Yeah. All right. Gotta pick some stuff up. Someone tore up stool prison and say, well, it couldn't have been anyone.
What do you guys, hey, you guys, what do you think you're doing?
Oh, Miss Peaches. Think we found some suspects.
Guys. Hey.
It is a little interesting. He took the time to film this all
for a second?
Before picking up his thousands of dollars of cash.
Can I want to talk to everybody right now. I want to talk to everybody about...
Oh, how could you be mad at them, though? You can't be mad.
No, this is not a time for a tummy tax. This is not a time for a tummy tax.
They just don't care.
Peter.
They don't even know that they did something bad.
What? You're just going to lay like that?
Soaking
and
up the
think
sun.
It goes away?
That's hilarious. Oh, Miss Peaches. Grandpa, what were the years between 2020 and 2024 like?
Yeah, it was an intense experience. You know, I just did the work. Watched a lot of retarded people. Spent time with them, observed them. Watched all the retarded stuff they did. Yeah, it was an intense experience. You know, I just did the work. Watched a lot of retarded people. Spent time with them, observed them. Watched all the retarded stuff they did. Yeah, it was an intense experience. You know, I just did the work.
It's so true, dude. Living through all this AMC and GME stuff, I just put in the work. I'm just a dude playing another dude playing another dude. All right. I don't know what to tell you guys. I made you guys a shitload of money today. And why did I do it? It's out of the goodness of my heart. Doctors are actually concerned about not one, but two and a half things. I go into the doctor's office and we have never seen a person with a brain and a heart so large and yet a penis so small. And that's the cross I bear. It's just, that's what this is how I live my life, folks. This is it. This is it in real time. This isn't a dream. This isn't a nightmare. This is real life. I just gave you guys all this. You could have done it. You could have done it. Anyway, on a serious note, shout out to Edgeful, because the odds we were talking about are now playing out in real time. Easily could have paid for itself, especially since the first 7 days are free anyway. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Use that link to get all these odds and breakdowns. Check it out. Use it for the week. See if you like it. I wholeheartedly believe you can make it pay for itself. So, folks, that's what I have for you. I appreciate all the good vibes. I hope you had a great new year. I hope you're crushing this. Obviously, the Discord has been positioned properly. I've been positioned properly. I hope you guys have been positioned properly. That's what I have. I'll post videos later. We'll stream again tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow's a payday Friday. First payday Friday of the year. So we're going to be giving away some cash. We're giving away some prop accounts, all that good jazz. And also don't forget with Apex that their deal run ends out tonight. But any hoozles, that's what I have for you. I hope you crush today. Respect your risks. Stick to your trading plan. Don't go on tilt the very first day of trading. That's just not a good situation you want to be in. So that's what I have for you. Love you all. Appreciate the good vibes. I'll catch you on the flippity flip and have a good one. Peace.